Yes, that's how it was supposed to work. Hey everyone.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining, whoever may come.
Yeah, we just realized it's Thanksgiving in the US, so we're not sure who is showing up tonight. For us, it's tonight. For you, it's probably early
Morning.
Afternoon or morning. So yeah, we'll see who drops in and joins the live stream. We have I would say, pretty cool topic today, and you cannot see what's lying on this table
And on the floor.
and on the floor and basically everywhere in the room. We have plenty of tools here, and we want to talk about, first of all, some of the basic skills you should have as a guitarist, as a bassist as well.
Yeah,
Pretty much works for both. And yeah, we'll talk about the things you should know, you should be able to do yourself, and we have it like kind of skill level based. We start with the basic stuff, the absolute necessary skills, kind of.
yeah. Let's say skill based. It's not necessarily skill based, but things you absolutely need to know, in my opinion, and things you don't really need to know, because, for example, the soda stuff is not that hard actually, and it's not that much skill intensive, in my opinion.
Maybe it just scares some people off.
It scares
soldering.
people off, yeah, but
it's a bit more advanced, but it's not that difficult actually.
Yeah, from the difficulty point of view, it's really not hard.
You're right. And yeah, some folks just joined. Rody is here. Hey Rody,
Thanks for joining.
We don't see the picture here.
Yeah,
it's just not linked.
StreamYard seems to be slow with loading this.
That's weird.
Yeah,
but yeah, thanks for joining, Rody. And BC Rich also dropped in.
Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys in the US.
Happy almost Friday. Yeah, it's still 3 hours of Thursday.
Yeah,
we have a little bit more. Lots of lag on my end, but it could be because everyone is home. Yeah, and StreamYard is acting weird because we're not seeing the channel pictures here. I need to check on YouTube myself quickly. I hope it's not my internet connection, but usually it works fine. Check quickly. It's a bit slow. No, so far. Yeah, the pictures are loaded on here, so that's not the issue. Okay, great. The amp is turned off. Okay, I wasn't sure. We were just before the streaming, we were jamming a little bit, and I was not sure if we turned off all the amps, especially the tube amp, but it's turned off. No spoiler which amp. There will be a video about it.
Yeah,
this year in December. Yeah.
This year.
So yeah, that's that. All right. I'm not sure if should we like get the tools we need for the specific skill or activity, whatever.
Let's do it like this.
Hey Amanda.
Hey Amanda, thanks for joining.
No Thanksgiving in Canada. I just checked today. I wasn't sure, but
they had it a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah, exactly. Basic skill number one, which everybody, not everybody in the world, but every guitarist, every musician with a stringed instrument should be able to do is a string change.
Yeah,
sounds very basic, and it is, but not everybody is able to do it because some people bring their guitars to a guitar shop.
Yeah, I've noticed that when I was last time at Addis, there were people coming here.
It's always here
over the guitar.
My kid's guitar or whatever. My guitar, please change the strings. And it's like, okay, that should be like one of the first things you learn. And there are a billion of tutorials. But
can you do a string change on a classical?
With the nodding?
Yeah.
No.
See,
I think back then my teacher changed the strings. But I was a kid. Yeah, on electric and on Western acoustic. We call the steel string acoustic Western guitar here. Sometimes in German.
Yeah.
I can do it on those. And I don't have a classical guitar anymore. Theoretically on the ukulele. I have one here. It's pretty much the same, but since it's just plastic strings, I never changed them. So Yeah, what do you need for a string change? String cutter.
Yeah.
And a winder.
Yeah, not necessarily, but it's handy.
Yeah, it's advised.
Yeah.
You can do it with your hands as well, but a winder, I would say. And if you're lazy or have to change strings on a lot of guitars, this also helps. I always do it like this because, yeah. Why work hard? Work smart.
Yeah. Certainly.
And what else do you need? Pretty much nothing. And in the end, you need the string stretcher.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
You don't need it. It's again
another convenience thing. And I like this one as well. Is it the Dario? Or
no, that's a no name.
No name, but it's with the
it
string
has
cutter
the
in the front
as well.
The
bridge pin puller.
Bridge pin puller for acoustics and the winder here. It's a pretty handy, affordable, all-in-one solution almost.
Pretty much, yeah. That one you should be set. So I'm going over here also into the stream.
See if it's lagging.
Yeah, and also to see the comments because I don't have my contacts in there. So yeah.
So if Martin's not falling asleep, he's just looking on the phone. Yeah. So that's string change. And what do you have to do after you change strings like from 9s to 10s or even 11s?
Yeah, then you might need to do cutting or prepare the nut, and you need to change the intonation.
I was going for the intonation, exactly. Yeah. Intonation, you need a screwdriver.
Yeah.
That's all.
Pretty much it.
Where's the Ibanez tool?
Yeah. Screwdriver, hex.
Where did I put that?
Hex wrench.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I thought I had it as well. But this Octo tool from Music Gnome also works as a Phillips screwdriver. And when the note played at the 12th fret is sharp, you back away.
Yeah.
And if it's flat, you need to go
closer.
And yeah, it just sounds horrible. Everything's fretted notes sound horrible when the guitar's not intonated properly. So it's just some playing around.
Yeah.
I think one day you changed strings and you adjusted the intonation and you did it just by ear and it was pretty much spot on. Right?
I was just...
Which guitar was that?
I don't know.
But I know it was one guitar and like, I'm not
sure.
Yeah, now it's good. And then we measured and okay, yeah, wow. Your training paid off. Big time.
Well, it's like even a blind chicken finds a corn sometimes.
It was just pure luck.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, intonation is, but it's really important. I mean, for a beginner, if you buy an affordable guitar, they're often not properly intonated. And it throws you off because if you're playing not just the open chords, the higher or the further you go up the neck, the worse it sounds. And yeah, it's just horrible.
Yeah.
So intonation, absolutely basic. Since I was just looking at the guitar, pickup height adjustment is also important.
Yeah.
It
can save you buying a new pickup.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you guys in the chat watched the video. We did a video about adjusting the pickup height, and yeah, it has a dramatic effect on tone. And yeah,
Rody and BC Rich said both are still using the string stretcher we sent them.
That's awesome. Christmas. Very cool. The chat is not loading here on StreamYard for whatever reason. Maybe I can add the window again, but it's weird.
It's also lagging over here a bit at times. So yeah.
Oh, but it looks like it's the StreamYard website. Because my internet's working. I hope. Oh wow, yeah, it's laggy. Not sure what's going on here. Check my Wi-Fi. I shouldn't have updated to Windows 11. So it's the right Wi-Fi. Weird.
Who knows if there are other updates running in the background?
I hope not, but the browser's not working properly. But the stream's still working. That's funny.
Yeah, looks like it.
Hmm.
Yeah, well,
But
let's
yeah, I
continue.
can't highlight chats, unfortunately. Right. Adjusting the tremolo is another thing I wrote down.
Did we skip a part? I think we did.
Oh,
yeah, basic setup and action.
sorry about that. Yeah,
Truss
the
rod adjustment.
basic setup. Should I grab the guitar again?
Yes, sure.
For demonstration. So for the action, or for measuring the action, I really love this. Here's the webcam. The Music Nomad, what's it called? String action gauge. It's in imperial and in metric.
Yeah.
So works across the world. And it has some reference heights. Okay, great webcam. Now it's focusing. Yeah, it has the references. Which one is this? Millimeters. And pickup height as well down here. Pickup height. And you can measure the action. Do you use the capo for that?
No, I don't use the capo. I measure without the capo on.
Because some folks do, and then they still measure at the 12th fret. But I don't use a capo when I measure the action. Just put it right here, 12th fret, measure, and yeah, adjust the saddles.
Yeah,
and that's about it.
Yeah, together with this string rocker, one second. A fret rocker.
A string rocker.
String rocker. Yeah.
But this one also works as a...
Yeah, this one also works as a fret rocker. Yes. On the higher ups. Which higher up frets?
Would be this here.
Yeah.
This side.
Yeah.
Also good to identify high frets.
High frets, yeah.
Fixing high frets is another issue.
Yeah.
Because you need what do you need? A decent file or sandpaper? You can do it with sandpaper.
Depends on how much it is I have to address.
I think on the videos you often see it when they have like a sanding beam. They use Sharpie to highlight the high frets, and then they take the sanding beam, cross all frets, and once the Sharpie is gone,
that's leveling.
That's leveling.
That's even leveling.
Then it's all frets.
You should avoid that. Yeah, when we're already with high frets, but I wouldn't put this already at that level, because fixing a high fret is not necessarily something every guitar player needs to be capable of.
Yeah. And
in my opinion,
if the frets are, if you identify a high fret, I don't think it always needs to be fixed. It depends on the action of the guitar. If you have a very low action, it needs to be fixed. And
sometimes it's just that the fret is not inserted properly.
Then you can hammer it in.
Then you need to hammer it
with this side.
Yeah.
Stuart McDonald.
Yeah.
It's got a good weight.
Yeah, there's also sand in it, because when you punch it, the sand makes it so you're not slipping off of it, and it's not bouncing off with it. So you get the additional weight later on, so it presses it pretty much down. So when you strike with that one, it's not going off.
Smart.
Anymore.
Very cool.
So yeah, that's a special one. Certainly not necessary for anyone, but
that's almost like pro level, right?
Yeah.
They still make stuff in general.
Sure.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
They have. We will show a file afterwards, or a little bit later, which we recommend to everyone.
Yeah.
But the hammer, you bought that for refretting.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
That's further down the list.
Yeah, I didn't bring all the refretting stuff and the leveling stuff.
We bought the leveling beam as well. Something like that,
I did not buy the beam. I bought the radius blocks.
How long are they?
Are about this, so I can level shorter sections as well.
Okay.
So I
not
don't have to
all
go over everything.
the whole
and-
fretboard. Okay,
yeah.
got it. And for the basic setup, we also included adjusting the neck with the truss rod.
Yeah,
This
for
is
the
also something some people are scared of. I don't know why, because if you're not making extreme turns, you can't really damage the
Yeah.
guitar. It's just if you go crazy and turn three full turns, then it's not ideal for the guitar. But
what's annoying is when you're having a vintage Fender style guitar where the
that's where you
adjustment is
yeah.
on the bottom side of the neck, where you have to remove the neck for everything.
For that, I always use the capo. Yeah, that's why you brought it. Put the capo here, put the strings down, loose the screws or loosen the screws in the back, and then you can pop it off the neck and adjust with. Then you need a Phillips screwdriver again, and not a tool for the. Where's the Ibanez tool? Damn it! Here it is. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one Danny got us, right? Yeah, I was just have here are this as well for adjusting. I'm not sure if this actually fits in one, but this or similar ones that fit in the truss. Usually it just comes with the guitar and then it works.
Yeah.
And most guitars have it up here, and I think it's nothing to be afraid of.
Nelson Rodriguez joining us.
Hey there, Nelson.
Thanks for joining us.
And did you have any bad experiences with the truss rod, or like you were afraid of stripping it or breaking something?
No.
It's just like a little bit of kind of horror story if you wreck the guitar.
Well, if you're doing 3 turns at once,
I usually do not even quarter turns, like very small,
very minor
turns,
adjustments. Quarter turns like
quarter
this
turns.
Depends on.
And for that, I push down first fret and last fret, and in the middle, in between.
No,
How do you do it with the capo?
I'm using the capo
and last fret.
have it, and the fret where the neck joins the body, and then
Okay, it's just like this part, and then you check in between.
Yes, exactly. In the
half
middle
of okay.
half of that.
And if you want to be precise, I oftentimes just do it by feel. Like I look and see, but the feeler gauge would be the right tool for measuring the what's it called? The height then from the
relief
to the relief. Thanks. To measure the relief between fret and string.
But I also do it by feel for my guitars. I don't.
If you did it a couple of times and you look at it and it's just you feel it should be a little movement, like
just a hair. You should hear it when you tap on it.
You could and also see that it's going down a little bit, but it's just very small. And if the distance is too big, then you have a bow and you need to straighten it.
And if there's no distance, you have a big bow,
which is also bad because then you have buzz here.
Yes.
So when the guitar buzzes, it might be a high fret, it might be the curvature or straightness of the neck. It depends a lot on the radius of the guitar. On the Strandberg, I didn't adjust it there, but the action is crazy low, and I think it's pretty much flat. And with the 7 1/4 inch, it should be more curved.
Not necessarily, but
depends on the string gauge. You use thicker gauge strings on your. I have 9s, and
way flatter.
The 9s do like this when you plug them.
Yeah,
and
they move
11s just like this. They need much more space. So that's a little bit or something to consider. Adjusting the tremolo. I have to get the not the Ibanez, the Strandberg for that because it has no cover on the back. Adjusting the tremolo, meaning the screws here, put them further in or farther out, or whatever, so that the tremolo block and eventually that this is at the right angle. Here it's pretty much flat. I tried it last time. It's 2 semitones. Down and up it's more.
Yeah.
And for the if you don't like a floating trem, you can.
I always set it up just a tiny bit floating.
I have it
So
quite a bit floating on my American Professional. Maybe show like this. And you can go both ways. If it's flush to the body, you can obviously just go down in pitch.
See, that's something I try to avoid, because sometimes you just need to go that little bit up to get it back into tune.
What do you avoid?
To have it totally flat.
Okay, so
just a hair. It's not even not even a quarter tone. So yeah.
Okay.
That I can get up in one direction. So it's really just so I can give it just that little pull to get it back into tune.
Okay.
Guitarman 45 joined us. Thanks for joining.
Hey there.
Doing well. How are you?
Hopefully great as well. So yeah, adjusting the tremolo, that's something I rarely do. I rarely have to do, because I keep 9s on my American Professional Strat, and therefore I don't have to adjust it. If I will put 10s on, then and tune it to E flat, then I would definitely have to adjust the tremolo a bit, because otherwise it would be maybe crazy floating. Did you ever adjust a Floyd Rose style?
No, I never had to, because I don't own any. You don't own any.
The only locking is the Stramberg. It's locking, but it's not a Floyd.
Yeah,
it's different.
I did.
Did you set up Franz's guitar?
I did something on Franz's one, but there was not much I had to do. It was just just tuning it again a tiny bit.
General tooltip: this Ibanez multi-tool is awesome. You can have the little ruler for measuring pickup distance or the string action, obviously, and then you have flathead and Phillips screwdriver, 2 actually, and I think it comes stock with some Ibanez models. I think my AZ had one included, the premium, and they're not expensive. I think they're like 10 or 15 bucks. And it's pretty nice to have. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving festivals, Kwanzaa, and any others I missed. For us, it's just Thursday. And
just another Thursday.
Just Thursday. No, it's not just another. It's the 15th live stream. 14th? 15th? 15th.
Yeah.
Really cool. Which should we put next? This one or another one?
We were already discussing the nut, because if you change the
Not
gauge
again.
of the string,
the nut. How do you remove the nut? Because I changed 2 nuts so far, and I think it's glued in.
Yeah.
And then I just hammer it out sideways, gently, of course, because well, if it's a squeeze, I'm not able to talk properly tonight. If it's an affordable Squire, it just has this cheap plastic nut, and then it will probably break. But I also changed it on my PRS.
I haven't had that problem. I switched it on a Squire once.
But did you?
I used a flathead screwdriver on the side and give a little.
Then you pushed it out
on the side.
Okay. Maybe sometimes you need a little bit a cutter or something if there's residue or glue. Excess glue.
Yeah, I cut it on the side a little bit, so it's
up and down.
So it's not with the lacquer of the finish on the side, because Fender and Squire just lacquers over that stuff, and so I use
the box cutter.
The box cutter for that one. with a fresh blade and just make sure it's not connected to the finish anymore. Use a flathead screwdriver, a hammer, and then give it a little love from the side.
Gently. Touch it gently. But then I usually scrape out glue, the excess glue that's in there, and glue the new nut back in. The cool thing is you don't actually have to, it will be a transition, you don't have to file the grooves on every nut because some of them come pre-slotted.
Yeah, but in the end, to have the nut really in perfect condition, you will have to.
And if you have to, you need files. Yeah. And we have different kinds of. I have this Hosco made in Japan. And the cool thing is it's 3 files, but it's double-sided. So 10, 13, 17, and then 26, 36, 46. So works for 9s and 10s. Yeah. I think it's no problem to use these for 10s. Just it's not getting caught in the nut, so it's a little bit wider, and you can always change the strings. And pretty cool. They are not cheap. I think they cost more than €100 new. I got them used, but pretty much new, so I just got a small discount for them. But I think you should at an angle forward and not like sawing.
No, not sawing.
Just one direction.
One direction. And also, what helps a lot is when you're having a Gibson style guitar or Gibson style headstock 3-on-3, that you make a slight turn over towards the posts of the tuners that you're going to.
Yeah. So here for the D and G string, just slightly this way and this way, ever so slightly. And if you do that, you don't need a string butler or something like that.
If it's properly cut. Also, it also helps with intonation, especially on the first few frets, because if the nut is high and you press down too much, you have the open string that's totally tuned properly, and you press down and have too much of a distance. Yeah, obviously you bend pretty much the string, and you will get out of tune again.
Yeah, but that's, since you mentioned it, when the nut is too high, the first fret is sharp.
Yeah.
And if that's the issue, you need to remove the nut and sand it, put it back in.
Or cut it deeper.
Or cut the grooves deeper. That's probably easier if it's already glued in.
Yes, I don't glue it in right away. So I prepared a nut.
Actually, I had an acoustic and the nut wasn't glued in at all. When I changed the strings first, it just fell out. And I was like, do I have to glue it in? Well, the strings put that much pressure on, it holds in place.
Yeah, that's the case. You don't need to glue it in. It's just more convenient on string changes. You don't lose it.
The files are the only thing I know of Hosco. Well, no. I have this as well. It's like, it's also, it's not working with the focus. Oh, whatever. Yeah, it's this rubber thing for polishing frets. And I just realized it's also made by Hosco. It's 1000 grit for making the frets shiny.
Yeah, Terry 3Gs also joined us. Hey, Terry, how are you doing?
Very cool. Hey, Terry. Yeah. 10th of October. Okay, yeah, that's been a long time ago. Yeah, it makes sense to have Thanksgiving early in Canada since you usually have snow earlier, maybe already. I'm not sure if you still have.
I have seen
there was a video of Ben with snow. Maybe it's gone again, but we didn't have snow yet, but it's pretty freezing at night. Yeah. Is it freezing? Is it minus degrees Celsius?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Slightly minus. Because getting cold.
I think we just had 3 degrees today when we had the training.
Oh wow, that's cold.
The boys. So yeah,
but I don't mind the cold in winter, and it's for me it's to get into a Christmas mood and Christmas markets and all. But I like it. You don't like it? You like it? prefer it warm?
I don't really care as long as I don't have to go through muddy snow. So yeah.
Okay. Ah, well, you walk to work. So, is this yours?
Yes.
Okay.
That's mine.
Mine is in a similar package, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, we're doing well. Thanks, Terry.
All good. So installing a new nut. The next, just a tremolo. Why is it here again?
You like your tremolos, right?
That much. Once talking about them once is enough. I would go to polish the frets next.
Yeah, I think
It's
maybe that's even before changing a nut.
in terms of difficulty, absolutely. For me, polishing the frets is like a basic setup thing, which you should also do when you change the strings.
Yeah.
Maybe not every time. It depends on how often you change the strings and what kind of frets you have. If you have stainless steel, do you have to polish them? Not really, right?
Not really.
If you have nickel, you should. And yeah, most of my guitars don't have stainless steel frets. Only 2 have. No, Steinberg and the
I
Ibanez.
only have 1.
And PRS. Right. And there are a plethora of tools. I have these mesh pads, and they come in varying grids. I think the lowest is 800 or something like that, and it goes up to 12,000. So it's great for polishing.
Pretty much the same as paper from 3M.
And yeah, I showed the rubber before.
And what I really like to use to polish my frets is the Dremel with polishing wheels.
Is that for
polishing compound?
Cleaning polishing set?
Yeah,
that's cool. The polishing compound, is it the one that's here included, or do you use a specific one for frets? Because there's like I put this.
Yeah.
This one.
See, I'm not using the polishing compound from in here. I was about to...
At this part of the stream, I have to mention, not sponsored by Music Nomad. Unfortunately, Music Nomad, if you watch this, please send us stuff. Martin will can take it because I have it already. Most likely. It's amazing stuff.
See, you have the same stuff. So
it's awesome. These are fantastic, so you don't damage your fretboard.
Exactly, and that's also when I'm using the Dremel. We'll see how. Maybe you can see how that one.
It's shiny.
How that one got polished together with the fret, and the frets look like this as well.
And this is the material, the polishing material.
Yeah, and that's also the one I'm using when I'm using the Dremel for polishing it.
It's the best, in my opinion. And I have the other stuff. I bought the Husker rubbers a long time ago. I don't like to use them that much because it's a rubber and stuff rubs off and it's making a mess. So I usually take this with a cloth. I don't have a Dremel like Martin. And if it's just a quick fix, I have this.
Yeah, BC Rich. I totally agree.
The small 3M sheets, they are sold by the Dario as well.
Yeah,
but buy this one because it's much cheaper.
And it's larger.
And yeah, it's
and again larger. There are also several grids. I don't know which kind. I just know I have it placed in order in there, and I use it just in order, and then everything's fine.
The result will be satisfying.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like those. You see, I'm using them quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
And
do you polish the frets each and every time you change the strings, or just when you feel or you feel and you hear it with the unpolished frets?
I just can't get past them when they are not good, when I'm changing the strings. So yeah.
I mean, with this guard, it just takes 2 minutes.
Yeah,
it's not that time consuming. I think it pays off. The guitars plays much nicer afterwards.
I will not go through all of the grids all the time, just maybe 2 or 3, and or use the Dremel. If it's one of my, let's say, favorite guitars, one of my 2 favorite guitars, I'm using the Dremel for that one.
And if you use the fret guards that are included in this set, you don't have to be as particularly careful, right?
Yeah, well,
or do you still have to be with the Dremel because it's a power tool?
You have to.
Mhm.
The thing that I've noticed is that the frets that I have on the Baja are not really fitting well with the fret guards that I'm having over here. So,
Okay,
from the
there are
music
three normal jumbo and
Yeah.
the vintage.
and neither of those three really covers them to that extent that not some of the polishing of the polishing compound does get underneath it.
Mhm.
And I've noticed that it gets on the side of the fret, even probably a bit under the finish, so I'm not using it on that one anymore.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that.
Do it by hand.
I do it there by hand. I didn't find any problems with the 335 with that roasted maple fretboard that's dark. With the darker fretboards, I have no problem with that, and I'll do it with the Dremel.
Okay, cool.
So it's just that with the lacquered fretboards, I'm not using it anymore. The Dremel.
Okay, yeah, you don't want to damage the lacquered fretboard. You can't fix that easily.
Yeah.
Sheets are a lot cheaper when you buy them in sheets from the larger paint and maintenance stores. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, Terry also doesn't like the rubbers unless it was a good year. Yeah. Yeah, I just realized that my fuel consumption gone up since I have the winter tires on. It's always the same. You have more friction and...
See, I'm driving too little with the car to notice anything of this because I just have 15 to 20 minutes by foot to work. And
yeah, for me, it would be like 40, 45 minutes with the bicycle. So, nope. Car.
Summer
it's I have to work as like business clothes with a suit.
You don't have a shower
I have, but then again, I'm lazy.
See,
because you have to bring the clothes and all. I just want to get home in time and don't stay there too long because I have to work long enough anyways. Should still tape even with the fret guards if you use a buffer with a Dremel, just in case the Dremel slides out. Yeah, that's why I would be a little bit hesitant to use the Dremel because you're used to the Dremel. For me, it would be, just a little bit.
Yeah,
to be careful and not.
I use that tool regularly, and so yeah.
You're a proficient Dremeler.
Yeah, I know the speed on that one, what setting I have to do. That's the one with the digital, I think 32 settings that I'm having.
And 32 settings?
Yeah, I can
power settings.
Yeah, speed settings.
Oh wow.
So I can really find it just how fast it needs to go, and with that it's really easy.
The next thing we have on our list is sometimes very easy. Drop in and you're good to go. And sometimes it's a hassle because sometimes it's imperial and you need metric or the other way around, and then you need to drill holes. We're talking about changing the tuners because on this guitar it came stock with the standard Fender American tuners, and I like the Fender locking tuners a lot with the thumb wheel. And these tuners, these replacement tuners by Fender, are drop-in. It's the perfect holes. What do you have to do? On this side, what's this called? Washer.
Yeah, or is
you have to remove it from this side, and you can just push it through, and it pops off.
The nut, right?
Is it the nut?
It's a nut.
I'm not sure. These tools and
stuff. Easy Rich. Sometimes he's the Duke of Dremel.
You need a T-shirt.
I've heard that
the Duke of Dremel.
That term used on me once already, so it's
really?
Not the first time. Yeah,
the Duke of Dremel.
Yeah,
in German or this exact title?
Yeah,
bushing. Is it the bushing? No, the bushing is the one inside.
The bushing is the one inside.
Is it the washer? It's the
The
one.
washer is just the plate.
We're talking about the thing
hex.
where you use this. Is it hex? Tuner bushing. The one you can tighten
a
with
nut.
this.
It's a nut. Tighten a nut.
Then it's a nut. Okay, let's say it's a nut. Yeah, if you buy the original Fender locking tuners for the original Fender, it's no problem. For my Squier Bullet, the one I modded, I bought some locking tuners off on Amazon, and they didn't fit in, so I had to drill bigger holes, and that's a bit annoying. And if you, I'm just walking tonight all the time. This guitar has the Gibson tuners with the screw downwards, and if you want to replace these with the vintage ones, they usually have one up, top, one on top, and one on the bottom. So you need to drill extra holes before you can install the tuners. And that's, then it's you're permanently modifying the guitar if you drill in holes here to put on the vintage looking tune-up style tuners on this guitar. I would like those, but you sometimes hear that they are not, the tuning stability is not that great.
I'm not that much a fan of those, and
I just like the look. I think they look cool, but the tuning stability is not the best. And you have to modify the guitar, and the Rover ones are working nicely. So
just place locking tuners on it as well. All good.
It's just the look, but
and you get fitting ones for that hole.
Yeah, it's true. Did you have any issues with changing tuners before, or did they all fit in?
I had problems with the Rode 150s.
What kind of
the bushing
did you buy?
The bush. I used the Klusen ones, but when I've removed those, I've noticed that the original bushings that were inside had a lot of play as well. So I was considering the Klusen were the just exact same size the Rode One Strat had already as bushings inside. And I was considering to use the original ones because I've noticed when I've installed the new ones that they were not fitting properly. And like this, I placed the original bushing inside and noticed they have just about the same play again. And what I did then was place paper around it, so it acts.
So it's not moving.
It acts,
extra bushing.
Yeah, it acts like a shim in there. So it's not moving. It's really secured in there.
Do you think that's a factory defect? The holes are drilled the wrong size? Because it's weird if none of the bushings fit in.
Yeah, but it's probably it looked more like the tool was not sharp enough anymore. So it's the drill.
Last guitar tonight.
Yeah, the drill.
Change it tomorrow.
The drill made a larger hole than it should have.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like to me.
Or fit.
Yeah, and you know that I've said when I got it that the tuning stability was fine, but I did not like the feel of the tuners because
some were stiff.
Some were stiff, some were extremely loose, and that in my opinion, that was due to the bushing having play in there and the tension breaking it into a slight angle, and then whenever you turned it, you did not have the same tension all the time because the posts were also angled.
Okay, that's weird.
In that case,
not
that you really see it with your eyes properly, but it's just that little tilt,
which you don't want. Yeah, Terry mentions the hip shot tuners that come with the retention plates.
Yeah,
never seen those live on a guitar. I just in videos that you can put the plates on and then they work. the concept is cool. But did you see hip shot tuners? I've never seen the hip shot over here in a guitar.
I think they are
I think
only
you-
aftermarket on the ones.
Yeah,
get
you
over
can.
Here,
I think you can order it online as well.
Yeah,
Hip shot, but never seen it. But
I also don't know anyone having a guitar that has them on.
only heard good thing about those. So that was changing the tuners. You were talking about shimming.
Yeah, shimming a neck.
Which guitar did you have to do that?
Ben just did. I had to do it on the Road 150 Strat as well.
Just on that one or on any other as well?
No, it was just that one.
Okay. And the problem was the angle of the neck. This one is again. Get the road worn.
The other Road 1.
They're not shimmed, but
So I had the problem that I was not able to raise the so what was it like?
was it the action?
Yeah, that the action was always high, right? I was not able to get the action on the upper part lower over here, and yeah, over here it was all fine. It was just that the further up it was so high, it was not really playable, and I already had the saddles of the bridge all the way down. There was no space anymore for that.
Then you have to go up with the neck.
So I had to go up with the neck somehow. But what you do then is you don't just raise the neck, you give it just a tiny bit of angle. So,
but the piece of paper,
yeah,
or was it cardboard?
Very thin cardboard. But you can use paper if you need a smaller. But many people use business cards.
Okay,
you can use playing cards, like
just a small piece, or
poker.
Does it need to fit the whole pocket?
No. You just place.
Because I never did that.
Yeah, a 1 or 2 centimeter piece over here, so it's higher on that part over here, and you get the angle a slight.
And I guess you cannot see it when the neck is screwed on again.
You don't see it. No. It's all inside here. It's also not really visible that you have an angle or something. Okay. It's just the tiny hair of it, because over the whole length of the neck, you have that slight angle going back down. You have on that end, then, what could it be? 2 or 3 millimeters on that end, 2 or 3 millimeters, everything lower. And like this, you have over here also everything pushed downwards.
Okay.
And like this.
So that's something you only have to do if you have problems setting up the action.
Yeah.
And you cannot adjust the saddles anymore.
Yeah, you can't adjust the saddles properly. The other thing would be if the saddles are already at the maximum, you can't get there anymore. And the neck is straight, you have all the relief properly, and everything sits too low. Then you can adjust it with that shim on this part.
Okay.
The neck gets higher on that end.
Works the opposite way then.
Works then the opposite way.
Cool. And on the Road Worn, you also changed the saddles.
Yeah.
What was the reason for that? Because they were too far in? I can't remember why you changed those.
No, the saddles were too wide on that guitar as well. I don't know.
It was rattling.
Yeah, it was rattling. You had an acoustic rattle because the vibration.
Here. Right.
There was just that small space between each saddle that when the vibration got on the saddle, it started to vibrate against the next saddle over there. And that was such an annoying acoustic rattle sound. You didn't hear anything through an amp. If I had it cranked that quiet, no problem at all. But when you're playing at home, just like we're doing here, or jamming, and
it
without
you could hear
protection, you could hear it, and it was so annoying.
That's true.
Yeah.
Let's see what Terry and PC Richard writing about the hip shots. They work well. I have them on 3 guitars that I've upgraded. Okay, very cool. I need to check it out. If they have, maybe they have locking tuners. I still want locking tuners for my Ibanez RG. I need to check it out. Some manufactured guitars come with them, but they're mostly aftermarket hip shot tuners. If you search for what keeps refinish video, put a set of hip shot open gear. Oh, open gear tuners are very nice looking. $69 Canadian. It's not that much, but maybe it was a couple of years ago. Then it would be more expensive with the crazy 2-digit inflation we have currently.
Yeah, well,
everything has gone up in price, right?
Next
week will be the video about
our 1K rig that Lukas and I made for the challenge. If we could make a rig from our stuff for 1K.
Yeah, we were surprised for about the prices.
Alert. Spoiler alert, we were really...
It's an almost exclusive spoiler because there are not that many people in there.
Yeah, we were really surprised about how the prices went up. We thought, yeah, that's no big deal. We can do it easy. We have plenty of gear with which we can get the rig for under 1K. But if you're only using new prices and not used ones, that changed a lot during the last year.
Definitely, it's pretty crazy. I'm just keeping this guitar for a moment and go to the next. If I get the file out, God damn it!
Got it removed over here.
We both have it. Yeah. This one is the, in my opinion, must-have object or must-have file from StuMac. I'm glad you bought it, and they shipped it over, of course, but you paid for it. You had the membership, and the shipping was free then, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's an awesome file. You ordered a bunch of those, not just the 2 for us, or did you? No, the order was sent again because it was delayed. That
I was lucky and unlucky at the same time because I've ordered those. I've wanted to address something on one of my guitars.
It's a little bit rusty. That shouldn't be an issue, right?
Yeah, that's probably from fret dust. Okay. So you need to clean them as well.
What? How? Yeah. I never did.
With a brush.
Like a steel brush?
If you have.
No. Do you?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
But you can also use an old toothbrush or a new one that you're not using for your teeth. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've ordered for both of us, and Krena was the lucky guy.
Got the spare one.
Got the spare one. I've ordered for both of us, and I even have one spare left at home because
you ordered 2, and
I ordered 2. Yes,
that's sent again.
And the thing was, they didn't arrive in time at all. I've waited almost 3 months.
Was it a month?
Yeah, it was several months. And then I've contacted StuMac and said, well, it's still not here. I need that file. How are we proceeding with this?
Yeah, you were waiting for it because of the refret.
Yeah.
Not because of this file. It was just part of the package.
Yeah, exactly. And so I've asked them, what's with this? And they said, well, with this time slots not being here yet, we consider it lost and you get a new shipment. And if I pay for the shipping, they will send it express, so it's here within 5 days or something from the US. Wow. 5 or 7, 5 work days, I think. Well, it was
crazy.
So 1 week.
Crazy fast.
And I've paid that. It was, I think, 10 or 20 euros that I paid extra for this. And it was here in this time frame, something.
And then the lost shipment also arrived.
And I got that shipment, and a day later the other shipment also arrived. And I told them, well, the second shipment arrived, and they said, yeah, well,
Lucky you.
You don't need,
well, fuck.
now you don't need to ship it back.
Okay.
So yeah,
it's not worth it. The great thing about this is there's one side that's rounded, so when you're like filing the fret ends, it's not damaging the fretboard at all. And I always do it at a slight angle, just as Phil McKnight told us all.
Yep.
And just one way, or maybe like turn it a little bit, like this motion.
What I really pay attention to when I'm doing whole fretboard with this, and not just one or two frets, that I would advise anyone with this file. One side is rounded and one side is completely flat.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a sharper edge. I'm not sure if I managed to get the focus on here so it shows this. Yeah. Come on. I don't think I'll manage to get it in focus. Yeah. However, that side is completely flat, and right over here is already the cutting edge. And what happened to me was, when I did it the first time, just without thinking too much, I was going over the fret over here, and then I turned over on the other side.
Then you were on the
and now I was on the flat side, cutting into the fretboard.
Now I'm
not the rounded one.
I see where you get it's doing like this and turn the guitar and doing the same way,
Yeah.
the same direction. You just flip the guitar.
Exactly. I was always I make sure that I do all the frets from the same side and then go over the other side.
But don't flip the file.
So I don't flip the file, to make sure I only have one change of direction from over the fretboard, because I've noticed I've did it 2 or 3 times.
Did you scratch it a bit?
Yeah, sure.
Damn.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. I scratched the heck out of my fretboard. Yeah, that's annoying. I also have this to measure if you really the radius gauge, if you really need to measure if you're building a guitar pretty much, or if you're not sure about the radius of one of your guitars, maybe if you buy an old one and you're not sure, and it has all the basics, 7 1/4, 9 1/2, 10, 12, what's next, 16 probably, 14, 15, etc.
16 to 20.
There's another way to use it. You can like put it under the strings, and the strings go over here, so you can see that
if the strings have also the radius of the fretboard.
Exactly, if they have the correct radius relative to the fretboard, so when you're bending, they're not choking out. That's pretty much the use for this. And
then again, at least I don't have the same height all over
it's
the strings, so
I would say it's another reference
higher on the lower strings than on the higher strings. So yeah,
it's another reference.
Hey Franz, thanks for joining.
I can't see him on StreamYard.
I can see him already here.
God damn it, StreamYard. It's really acting up tonight. Hope it's better next month.
Yeah, you can believe me. He's here.
the real Franz is here.
Yeah.
Okay, handle fret sprout.
Yeah,
we were talking about fret and dressing and fret sprout. Yeah, now it's the perfect time to talk about fret sprout when the central heating is on and it's getting warmer inside and the humidity is dropping. At least if you're living in like this climate region, then you might have fret sprout, and for that the fret and dressing file is just very handy. Before that, how did you treat fret ends?
Before I bought that one, I've used nail files. The ones that are
This one would work as
yeah,
well, right?
which are this style of files.
Ah,
yeah.
not the metallic
Not
ones.
the metallic ones
Okay.
I've used. Those worked also fine. It's just you go through those quite fast. So for one fretboard filing, you use up one of those.
Wow. Yeah, but this is soft material.
Yeah.
You can. This one has 3 sides. This one is the roughest. Then it's getting a little bit
Yeah. But a higher grit.
higher grit, exactly. And this one's pretty much for polishing. You can also use it to polish frets. And this file, it's the same one. Is it the guitar
Yeah.
sticks?
Yeah.
Because it's Engelstein. Wasn't sure. You can use it for frets. Maybe it works for fret ends as well, like the nail files. And you can also use this if you have.
This has a way higher grit than what I've used.
Oh, then
on
it's
the
not
nail
working.
files, yeah.
Not even this side.
No, not even this one.
You can use this also if the hardware on your guitar gets dull and not shiny anymore. You can use this to polish it. That's also just for cosmetic things. Well, we're getting. Let's show this quickly. What's this called? Straight edge. Straight edge. Has 2 sides. Short scale for Gibson, and this one is for Fender style. It's pretty much you put it and the frets go. Yeah, it's pretty obvious where the frets should go in the slots, and you can just measure if the neck is straight for the relief, and that's also for building.
That's very handy if you're doing a fret level, because
did you use it when you?
Yeah,
you used this. Yeah. Okay. It's mine, but I never used it. And Martin saw it and said, can I have it? Can I borrow it?
Yeah.
And it's been at your place for, I don't know, half a year, more.
Yeah. I should just do one guitar because...
You can take it with you again. Because
thanks.
I know where it is and I don't need it at the moment.
So yeah,
it's a Harley Benton one. It cost a couple of bucks.
When you want to level something, obviously you want the neck to be as flat as possible. And you need to adjust the truss rod, because the truss rod, the relief is obviously different from when the guitar is stringed up, when it's not strung with strings. So you don't have tensions on it.
Do you think this works also for the PRS style? Probably not. With 25-inch.
It did.
I think is your PRS kit 25-inch?
Yes. But
so the slots are big enough.
The slots are big enough. I think the Gibson one did just barely fit.
Cool.
So yeah, there's that. I think the Gibson one did fit, or the Fender. One of those did fit, but really just barely. Yeah, there's that. But yeah, with. That's certainly not something your everyday guitar player really needs to know. Should
we just stay with fret leveling and crowning? Or do you want to save that for later?
We can just do it now. Fret leveling, and I think fret crowning is one thing, because
that's the Z file.
The C file. I'm not really a fan of this file, I have to say, this way. Because, obviously you get triangular frets on top of it. You don't get this really nice round top. And, I'm not that much a fan of it.
What's this side for then?
That's just for different fret sizes. So if you have a wide fret,
both times the.
Hey Andrew, thanks for joining. How's it going in Down Under?
I still can't highlight the comment, unfortunately. Hey Andrew, hope you're doing well.
So I've also answered you lately. Have you got my message on Instagram? So, and what's really necessary as a skill for me is to find a high fret. I think we've touched it before with a fret rocker.
Yeah.
You need to find a high fret, know where a high fret is, and yeah, our targeted next date would be the 23rd. For you, it's the 24th. Not sure if that one works for you.
Yeah, we had to change the date.
So
we will post you after the stream so you can check if that date works for you.
Yeah. And
do you need this file?
This one is also
for high frets.
That's also a crowning file, but that one is round, and I'm not sure if I can make it focus.
The webcam.
Yeah, with that one you have to be careful, because if you level it and use that one to crown, the top of it also cuts. So what I like to use with that one is, if I have just one high fret, I'm using that one actually also to level it. So I just use that one straight away and file it down on that spot where it needs to get lower. And yeah, that's where I used it the most. I'm not really using it mainly for crowning. I use that one
for high frets.
For high frets, yeah, more so than I do actually for crowning.
Did you have to crown the frets on the PRS when you built it the first time, or the original build, or the frets were already in?
The frets were already in there. I did not have to do a whole refret, but I did a level over it and had to recrown it. Yeah. So I did. So I did the crowning with this one. That one was a cheaper one that I've bought before.
And the leveling is with the leveling beams you bought.
That's with the leveling beams. Yeah.
Okay. And then there they have a different radius.
They have those are not leveling beams. The ones I'm having are radius blocks.
Radius
I'm
blocks.
Not having them with
before,
me.
Right.
Yeah, and they have the radius that fits. I have a 10-inch radius. I have a 9.5. I have the 7.25. I have the 12-inch radius. I think I don't have the 16-inch radius because I'm not intending to get the guitar with 16-inch radius. Or do I?
16-inch.
No, I think I might even have the block for 16. I think I have the one for 20-inch because that's what the Martin has. Also.
What? Really?
Yeah, I think the 00028 DC has 20-inch.
Wow,
I think
that's flat.
If I remember correctly. So
I have no idea. I can't remember.
Yeah, so there's that. I have one for that one as well.
The tricky part is probably not the leveling and crowning, but the getting the frets out, cutting them, getting them back in, especially when they're
without twisting. I have a tool for that one to bend them in the radius.
Yeah, right.
Then hammer them in, glue them in. Cutting.
What kind of glue do you use for that? Wood glue?
Just
super glue.
Tip of super glue.
Super glue, not wood glue. Okay.
Tiny drop of super glue. Bottom it, get it in.
It's pretty time consuming to do a full refret. And you had the stainless steel was
stainless
too tough for your tools.
For the tools, the problem was with fret ends. The fret ends when I did the refret, you always have a little bit overlapping over the fretboard, right? And then you have to cut them so they're pretty much the size, and then you have the fret end dressing.
That's where you.
And yeah, but first you also sand them down so they have that angle already. So you're not dressing right away with that teeny tiny file over here. That's not what you do. You start off with just giving it that angle, and then you round everything over there. And what I failed with all the files that I had was filing it from there on so it has that angle and is already pre-shaped, so I don't only have to do the dressing at the end. I was filing on one. I have a block for that one with an angled file in there. I was going over it, just did literally nothing for, I think I was filing for half an hour or something, and the frets looked exactly the same as when I started.
You were pretty frustrated.
Probably even ruined that block with it already.
Okay.
Because it did not cut anything, and if the frets are harder than the file is probably ruined as well.
It's impossible to get the job done.
Yeah, it's just not possible with that one. Then I've used another file, same results. Tried to do it with the fret end dressing file, managed to do one after an hour. And then I said, well, not one fret end. So
half a fret.
So I had still 43 ahead of me, and I said, well, I'm not doing this.
Enough of this BS.
Yeah.
And then you sent it to Thoman.
Yes.
And we have a video. That's the only.
That's the whole story of it.
That's the story, but
yeah, I was really at least frustrated because, I already pretty much did it with normal frets on because the original one. Oh, we have a bot in there.
Can you?
I tried to.
Hot girls.
So.
Okay. Working.
Okay.
Everywhere. Yeah.
That's
at least you didn't ruin the guitar in any way.
No. So I did it already with another neck before, where I had to where I had a lot of fret sprout, and I've used that block to cut it down, and it was 2 or 3 times going over it with that block, and as mentioned with the stainless steel frets, it did not do anything to those frets. So I knew I had to use other tools or let someone else do the job for me. So there's that, or buy new tools.
How often would you use them?
That's the thing.
Because you're not going to be a luthier.
No,
building guitars non-stop or for a living.
At least not with stainless steel.
You will just do vintage specs.
Yeah.
I want stainless steel. Get out. Nope. Not in this house.
Go somewhere else.
Go somewhere else. I can recommend you to some other guy.
Yeah.
Not in my house.
Let Adi do it.
You would probably have the tools. Did you check the tools he has in his workshop?
No.
Just a picture on Instagram where he fixed the neck. And I probably didn't see it.
He certainly has good tools for that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then we are getting to the fun part.
Yes.
Especially for you, Mr. Wiring. You were the Duke of Dremel and you're the king of soldering. The king, okay, then the king of wiring. With all the wiring tutorials we have. Where's the soldering iron?
The soldering station. I'm using a soldering station. And
not a mobile small one.
No,
battery.
I don't recommend using those smaller just soldering irons. I recommend everyone to use a proper station because those are not expensive either. I've got that one from Hobby King. That's for RC cars and so on. A shop for I think €30. So you have that one. Together you have several tips for it. I'm in there.
Oh wow, yeah.
So on all
and
all
a sponge here.
A sponge here. That's to clean it, everything. Yeah. different tips for whatever you want to solder, and yeah,
Oh wow, yeah.
what kind of heat you need.
Almost like a blade. This one.
Yeah, that is a blade to heat up and cut something.
Very cool.
So
that was just €30.
I think it was €30, something like this.
That's not much.
Obviously, also a few years ago, but still, I think if let it be 40 or 50 euros, it's an investment that's really worth it. Also, with adjusting temperature. Hey, Philip, thanks for joining.
Hey, man.
With adjusting the temperature, I'm using usually something between 300 and 350 degrees Celsius.
It's Fahrenheit as well.
Yeah, Fahrenheit as well. So something
650,
580, something like this.
No, 6.
Yeah, that's a little higher than the 300 over here.
So
probably 600.
Okay, you're now at 325 degree.
Yeah, I'm at 325, something like this. It depends on the solder I'm using, what I have to solder or unsolder. We're doing great, Philip. Thanks for asking. How are you doing? And yeah, most guitar manufacturers I've noticed are using a solder that's quite hard to get rid of. Actually,
does it mean you need a higher temperature?
I need a higher temperature to get that one off, and I prefer
this.
Yeah, I also just
great tooltips.
Got a solder suction pump. You press it down. Have a button over here. Then you go to the solder joint when you heat it up, so the solder gets to a liquid, and
suck it in.
And remove it.
How much is that?
Here. That one was, I think, also 20 euros or something on Amazon.
Feels quality.
Yeah, it's Japanese manufactured.
Okay. The solder sucker.
Yeah.
Awesome. Solder sucker DPSS02.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that.
I can a fidget thing.
I can go up to almost 900 degrees Fahrenheit, 480 degrees Celsius,
which you never need.
Which I never need, but yeah, you can adjust it for whatever you're using. And
how can you empty this? Can you unscrew it here, the back?
You don't really need much to empty it, because when you press it back down, you push out the solder that you sucked in.
Okay, cool.
And if you really need to, you can unscrew it on the bottom over here and also get inside, and yeah.
Very cool.
Clean it like that.
The soldering, if you don't have a soldering station, there will be a battery in there, or how?
No,
the cheaper ones work. They're always powered.
Yeah. The cheaper ones have just a cable, and over
they
here
just don't have this handy station.
They don't have the station where you can adjust the temperature that accurately. And yeah, there are some that can adjust the temperature, but I would still go with a station. And yeah, when you're soldering,
this little body is also for soldering.
Yes,
the helping hand.
Helping hands. I just bought that one. I didn't use one for quite some time. No, I didn't.
The battery.
They can also insert the battery over here.
AAA batteries.
AAA batteries for that. I didn't use one for a long time. I've used that technique where, for the ones that have seen the short where I give my soldering tips, where I wrap the solder around my index finger, holding the part with my middle finger and my thumb, and then adding the solder with the index finger like this. That's how I did solder for most of my life.
Forever.
Yeah.
And you can put the solder, what's it called? Solder tip? Solder gun? Whatever.
Yeah.
Iron? Soldering iron.
Yeah.
Put it in here.
just like this as well.
Yeah.
But I would not use that one because
A
I
little
have
bit flimsy.
I have that one from the
And
station itself
it
where
was
it
sticking out too.
fits properly, and
You can remove that.
Yeah.
Cool. But the magnifying glass on top, the lights, and the two, to hold it, pliers, kind of.
alligator clips.
Alligator clips, that's what they call. Okay, cool. It has tooth like an alligator. Makes sense. Did you use it already for the pedal?
Yes, I used it
Very cool.
for the Boss G7.
And was it helping?
Yeah, it was really comfortable because I could. The thing is, I had the circuit plate still connected to the pedal itself when I did this, because
then you
I
could
did
hold
not.
it up.
Yeah, because I did not remove all the inside of it. I did not remove the switch for switching it on and off, and like this. I was not really able to place it on the table like that conveniently. So I've used that one to just have the circuit board held like this and was able to solder over here. I did not use the magnifying glass. It's that one
just to hold it in place.
Just to hold it in place, right?
Very handy.
Was straight in front of me, and I could just go there with the soldering iron, unsolder. With that one, it was a matter of 1 or 2 minutes to unsolder everything.
Yeah, but they use good solder then.
They used lower temperature solder that
easy to work with.
Yeah, that was really easy to work with on that Boss G7. That was a dream. I went with just barely 300 degrees, something like this, and was gone and soldered back on with the one that I'm having. That was
very cool.
Oh, that sucks, Terry. Sorry to hear.
Oh yeah, that's sorry to hear that.
So yeah, that's
the soldering iron and
soldering station. Yeah,
and you can change the pickups. Obviously,
you can change the pickups with this. You can change the wiring.
You can use the same pickups and the same pots and just change the wiring. On the Harley Benton SC550, you just you changed more, but you can basically just do the 50s wiring.
Yeah, exactly.
You need what do you need for that?
Nothing. You just need to rewire where the capacitor is going.
But the capacitor is already in there. You just need to rewire it. So that's. Oh, now I see the chat. Oh wow, that was a big delay. Yeah, hope we will hear it in many years or decades about Mike.
Yeah,
hope he's doing okay.
It's really a bad disease.
Yeah, it's
hopefully
terrible.
There will be something that can stop it at some time, but
hopefully,
yeah.
Sucks. Changing the wiring, you can do all sorts of crazy wirings, and for some you also need new pots, push-pull pots.
Yeah.
Let me get this one again. Or push-push pots.
Or
where's the push-push? Here's the push-push. Basically like the same function, function-wise it's the same like the push-pull.
Yeah.
Does the same thing. Martin made a video about the push-pull. All the references tonight. But yeah, we have a couple of videos out already. So with that, you can split coils. And I think we're getting into pretty advanced territory now. When you have a new wiring, you put capacitors in, you install push-pull, and you need to really be able to read the wiring diagrams to solder properly.
Or you
Or
just use our tutorials, and then you just need to be able to
follow the steps.
follow the steps and solder properly.
Yeah, with the tutorials, it's well, they are proved and tested, right? Charles is
Charles was my beta tester, at least.
yeah,
for,
better tester is a good term for that. Yeah, which one was it? Which
for the
wiring?
Baja.
The Baja wiring.
Baja
Right,
wiring.
right.
Yeah, and maybe Ben will
The
do
master volume.
the master volume wiring
Yeah.
at some point.
So
We'll see.
We'll see. If you don't want to change the wiring or the pots, you can also just change the pickups. Just replace them, use the same cables pretty much, or the same pots that are already in there, and just pop in some new pickups.
But there are also quick connect ones. So, and with some guitars, you can just change them out without having to solder or do pretty much anything with it.
The active pickups do have this system, kind of.
Yeah,
But
some of those.
Are there a lot of aftermarket pickups with quick connectors? Or you need to install them like you did on the Classic Vibe?
Yeah, I'm not. There are a few ones. Not exactly sure. I would have to look them up, but I have seen a few ones that have them. What obviously also is with lots of current Gibson models have them. So if you don't like the 498s, for example, there are also some aftermarket ones with the quick connector for ones that had classic 57s, for example, in there. So you buy a used classic 57 that has these quick connectors, and you use the Gibson classic 57s.
Could put those in the Les Paul.
Yeah.
Did you see any of them on Willhaben pop up with the quick connectors?
Long time ago, I've seen one.
You have notifications still turned on.
I have
if you find one with quick connectors, bridge pickup.
Okay.
You know. Yeah, I think it's an Alnico 4. This one.
This one that you are having.
Not or
you
3.
are having the 4. I'm not sure. Usually it's 5.
Then it's an Alnico 5. I'm not the biggest fan of the bridge pickup of my Les Paul.
490 and 498 is the ones you have, I think.
But I'm not sure about the magnet. But it's not an Alnico 2, and I'm not the biggest fan. But yeah, it's okay. On the blacktop HH Strat, I converted to 3 lay sensor singles. That's the big change from 2 humbuckers. Push in the tone pot to enable 6 and 7-way mode. Neck and bridge and all 3 pickups. That sounds really cool. Neck and bridge on a Strat? I never heard that. And all on... I didn't hear that either. Or did I?
You just...
I don't have a guitar with all pickups where I can put all the 3 coils on.
Philip says he has the classic 57s with quick connect.
Cool.
So
did they come stock in your Gibson, Philip? Send them over. Now after trashing the others, probably not willing to swap them. No, just kidding. But coming back to Terry's modded Strat.
Yeah.
Which guitar can do that? All 3 single coils on. I don't have a guitar that can do that.
You just have to add one more pickup to the equation. So,
but currently, none of my guitars can do that.
No, none of yours can.
And I've never heard it. And I would be interested to hear 3 single coils sounding together.
You want me to do it to one of yours?
I wouldn't know which one. Do it on yours. You can call your Classic Vibe then Frankenstrat.
Frankenvibe.
The Frankenvibe. Frankie vibe. Very cool. Lay sensors, are they some kind of... I know that Eric Clapton... Yeah, I know that. But Eric Clapton had it in a guitar as well.
Yeah,
I think.
in
But
his earlier signature.
in the earliest Fender
Strats.
signature, that's it. But are they active pickups?
No, they are
But-
passive. They just have a thicker shielding around them, so
Because
they're
they're
not.
just this
they're less
this plastic look,
less
and
hum.
but it's just the look of them. It's different, and the shielding. Okay.
Yeah, they are shielded better.
Less hum, or what's
so
the idea?
yeah, so they're,
Okay, it's
they're
just
having
hum.
less hum. So they're not really hum canceling, but they're better shielded against hum.
Shielding. We didn't talk about that. Did you shield one of your guitars
Sure.
with foil or with paint?
With copper tape.
Copper tape. And
Yeah.
What kind of copper tape? Was it specifically made for instruments?
No, it was just the one from Amazon.
And
Just-
you use that in the PRS?
I've used
As
that
well.
one in the PRS, yeah. And yeah, what I could advise anyone to
Gold
look
sensors.
for is
The original gold sensors.
okay. Would be to use copper tape with conductive glue. Mine did not have it, so you always have to overlap it and create some connection
Oh, okay.
between the sheets. So
Okay.
Yeah.
That's something I never did. But that's maybe you can do it aftermarket as well for a guitar you already have if you
Yeah,
have
sure.
shielding issues or wanted to have better shielding.
yeah.
I'm not sure if it makes a big difference. Maybe if it's when does it help when it's microphonic?
No, when you get noise in there from, for example, from lights and so on,
Okay, then
So-
it helps.
you get noise
get rid of
into
that.
the wiring. Yeah.
A different radius field, more like a cage than a pole piece. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably due to the look of them and the construction. Then okay, never played a guitar with phase sensors. Just saw them in videos. It's not a big thing anymore. I guess.
No, because now it's the real hum canceling ones are more popular.
Fender noiseless.
Yeah, the noiseless pickups.
Never heard those either.
Sure.
I'm not sure.
I'm sure you played them certainly at that
Yeah,
one
at-
store we were.
Did I?
I'm sure
Might
one
be.
of those.
Yeah,
guitars
some Fender series. I think the American Elite has the noiseless, and not sure if the American no, not the Ultra Lux, and some of the higher end Fender production have them stock. Yeah, probably played it, but I have no problem with a little bit of 50 cycle hum. In Europe, it's 50 cycle hum with the single coils. Wow. That's the weird thing about the Les Paul. When you split the coil, there's almost no hum. It's just
because that will be one of the upcoming videos. We're gonna tackle that coil split that's in there, because that's not a coil split, not at all.
it's like pseudo coil split. But when you compare it to your 335, that's a real coil split. It's sounding pretty close to single coil. But with that guitar, I never use the push-pull knob because to me it just doesn't sound like a single coil at all.
The problem is that usually you ground one coil, and what they did in this guitar and many other Gibson Les Pauls with this coil split, they added.
Or is it more like tapping then?
No.
Like
Tapping means you are reducing the coil, the
windings.
the windings.
That's what
of a
with
pickup.
the Tele Deluxe.
Yeah, so you still have
It's overwound one coil.
two coils, and you reduce just on one coil, or in that case, if you're having a single coil, obviously you can only do tapping. That's you have 3,000 winds, for example, and then you get out, have that middle wires, and go in, do another 2,000 winds, and you tap it. That instead of the 5K winds, you have only the 3K winds, or
Okay.
otherwise
You're
the
just
others.
reducing the power of the coil and you're not eliminating one coil of a humbucker.
It's very similar because if you have 2 coils, it's pretty much the same.
Both
just
have
that you
3.
have 2 separate coils that you have separated, and not all the time both coils in a humbucker have the same windings.
Okay, so if there's one with 3 and one with 2, it sounds pretty much the same or similar.
Yeah. You also notice it, the higher the difference is between the coils, the more you also notice noise with a humbucker, because they are not fully canceling anymore.
Makes sense.
This much.
It's not bucking the hum anymore.
Yeah, it is, but not this much.
Not completely.
And what they did with that one is you have the 2 coils, and where you do coil split, they go not straight to ground one coil. They go to ground via a capacitor, which means the capacitor is no resistance for high frequencies, but is a resistance for low frequencies. So you still get the low frequencies from that second coil that should be shut off, and it drains all the high frequencies from that coil.
And that's why it sounds, to my ear, too dark to be a convincing replacement for a single coil guitar. Yeah, because they advertised it. It's a 2017 studio, by the way. They advertised it as being modern and versatile because you have push-pull and you can get the single coil tones, and it's very versatile and blah, 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 marketing BS, because it doesn't sound like a single coil at all.
No.
I never used the push-pull. And I was researching in a forum, and I found the description with the capacitor, and I sent it to Martin. And then he said, yeah, let me have a look at it. It shouldn't be a big issue to remove that capacitor and then to eliminate one coil and have a true single coil.
Yeah, it's just removing that capacitor, soldering in a wire straight at that point, and that's it.
And we try that next week, and the video will be out in the future.
And it will be your first time soldering.
Solder fails with Lukas.
We're going to teach him how to solder, so he gains one more of these.
Give me that
skills that we've talked about.
Yeah, I need some. I never soldered before. The thing is, Martin learned it at school, and I was like at a business school. We just learned accounting and finance and stuff about companies and laws and entrepreneurship, and nothing about soldering and useful stuff. Well, other skill sets. Let's call it that. It's not the technical stuff. And that's why I just never had to solder before. And you can get lazy when you have a friend like you, and you can just, Martin, can you please solder this for me? Of course. Bring it over.
Yeah.
There's no need for me so far.
Usually it makes also sense if you know someone who can do it for you, who has experience with it. It's obviously way faster than doing it yourself, but it nonetheless, I think it's a great skill to have, because
also if maybe it's just like a cable or a connection gets loose, the output check, something like that. And with that, I never able to fix it myself, although it's just I screw it, solder one thing, one cable, one joint, and put it back in, and it will be fixed.
And there's really nothing much to it.
And the solder and the station like that, it's not expensive. So I should maybe get one.
So learning the skill, at least you can still get mine.
You still have
electrician
stuff here.
I'm still having a few things over here, but
that's a multimeter.
That's a multimeter. You can measure current, resistance,
crocodile, alligator.
Alligator clips. The reason why I'm having also this is measuring things within a tube amp.
If you open it up.
If you open it up, you will never want to have both hands within the cavity or within the electricity of the tube amp. Never ever. So you ground with the alligator clip and go measure with one side very carefully, the other hand on the back, and measure if there's any power. In general, there is the other tool I'm having here, and this is another alligator clip that you place on the casing, on the housing somewhere, and in here is a resistor.
It looks like you built it yourself.
I've built it
Because
myself.
there's a
Yeah,
chopstick.
that's a chopstick, right? There's nothing,
DIY.
There's nothing really much to it, but
Just rubber around.
Yeah, that's
a shrink tube.
Yeah, shrink tube, rubber. So it's insulated. You don't get to touch anything that's metal. You grab it on the furthest side. On the front, there's the little tip from the resistor, and then there is the wire soldered on the other side of the resistor going to the housing. So you ground it, get over there to every capacitor, and drain everything the capacitor has, so it's safe.
And then
you don't have
hit
you don't have any voltage in there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And still, I'm always going to use alligator clips for that. Then when I'm measuring in there, just to be safe.
Better safe than sorry, because it's really dangerous.
What I needed this for was when I've opened my JTM, when I installed the tube retainer.
Because of the rattling.
Yeah, I had due to vibration, the tube started to vibrate and rattle, and I've installed a tube retainer with springs holding it down, so it's not rattling anymore. And yeah, I had to open up the JTM to get really inside where the electronics is. For that one, I've looked that up, how I can get such a probe to drain the current. You don't want to use... You see that this over here is a quite hefty resistor over here that's holding quite some wattage, and you place that one there, and I think for 10 to 15 seconds with the value that I've chosen. I would have to look it up. You can Google it, or it was a tutorial on YouTube as well, and that I've used for that. And you don't want to have a too small resistor, because otherwise you get flash. Because with the voltage, it drains too much current in too short of a time. And if you have too high of a resistance, you can wait there for 20, 30, 40 seconds, and it's still not drained completely. So that's something to balance. And there's that. And I'm still alive. It worked.
Thank God.
And with the multimeter, I've also measured, obviously, everything, if there's still some voltage anywhere in there, and it was all on zero, all drained, all good.
How it should be.
I
think we covered all the tools we have here. Or do you have anything extra in your bag? It's like Santa Claus.
Yeah.
All the stuff in the bag.
I'm still looking. No, that's also something we covered already.
The only thing I could... you show the shrink tube.
For soldering, I always like to use shrink tube, because it just makes it clean, tidy, and
for setup stuff, a neck cradle also is absolutely recommended, especially if you have an angle like the Gibsons. It shouldn't rest on the headstock. This one's just cork, there is also Music Nomad has this blue one. I put all the tools in there, but this one, which you can place on the different sides for the different guitars.
Yeah.
And a work mat also is a great idea.
Calipers, I'm not sure if we touched
Nope.
those, because I think
yet.
that's also a fairly essential tool.
Do you use that a lot?
Yeah,
Okay.
quite a lot. Because for every screw I'm using or I'm removing
Or replacing.
or replace, I'm going to see with the caliper what screw it exactly is.
Okay.
So yeah,
You need it.
for that alone, it's worth having it. And obviously, you can measure pretty much anything else, from the nut width to actually string height as well, and yeah.
Whiskey time.
Thanks. Did we miss something, guys? Is there still something you say, this is something? Cheers. Something someone working or just playing guitar should know, something
Should have. I can't imagine we forgot anything major. We touched upon so many things.
The only thing that we did not touch yet is woodwork itself. If something major is broken, like
I have it here on the list. Fix a broken headstock.
headstock, neck reset,
Stuff like
fixing a broken top of an acoustic guitar.
Yeah, that's serious guitar repair. Then that's not just.
That's not something. Anyone,
fixing a guitar
luthier
is even a different skill set than building a guitar. I would say, because you have to put in wood and refinish the guitar and all. It's a whole different skill set.
Yeah.
The neck repair, Les did the series on his acoustic, and it turned out pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't see it in real life, but on camera it looked great, the way he repaired it.
He's also used to woodworking.
So yeah, he does that for a living. So
you
definitely saw that.
Far out, says Nelson Rodriguez.
Is he from Down Under too? Sounds like it.
Ask him.
Krenner said that's what Shane from In the Blues says. Far out, mate. The Aussie thing. My brother watched our last live stream, and he was making fun of you because you were smelling that long.
Oh,
they were watching it, and he's like, "When is he gonna drink? When is he gonna drink?" Don't hurry. He's enjoying it.
Yeah,
smelling.
Right. Smell it.
It's half of the taste. It's just maybe he's just chugging it down.
Minimum half of it.
He prefers Irish whiskey. Do I have to say more?
So he would not have fun with that one.
No. Way too strong. Way too. Yeah. Islay,
yeah. Wow. Lockindal.
It's really potent. 55.8.
Yeah.
%.
Cask strength.
Whew. For everybody that knows his whiskey. It's probably not focusing. Maybe we're lucky. Oh yeah, now it's focusing. 55.8.
Red wine cask.
It's very complex. I like it a lot. The last drop. There's a tiniest drop. It's yours.
Thanks.
Don't you waste that.
No,
definitely not. Well, there are still a bunch of people watching. Krena just popped in. Hey,
Krena, hey.
Did you
Cheers.
Cheers, barbecue whiskey. Did you just get home from work? I guess so. At this time, he usually gets home from work.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, yeah, guys, let us know if we missed anything or if you think there are, from work. Yes, exactly. Let us know if you have any other tips or if you agree with our list, kind of.
List assessment.
So it's basically rant. No, not a rant. That's when you're angry. Rambling. That's the word I was looking for. Rambling about the tools and skills, but I think we covered it pretty thoroughly.
Some tools that we desperately need but didn't know.
That would be cool. I'm always looking for new tools. It's horrible. Again, music nomad. Thanks a lot for the kind words, Rody.
Thanks, Rody.
It's just what I like about this is, it's this way in. No, should go in this way. Yeah, you can. It's really narrow.
Obviously, Krena, we did talk about the string stretch as well.
Of course, that's a must. That we covered that pretty much in the beginning when we talked about changing strings.
Yeah, I think for someone who really changes a lot of strings has several guitars, I think
it's magnetic. I can't get it out.
It's really close to a must because it makes it so much easier.
I didn't know that this is magnetic. It's even better. Not if you have sweaty fingers. God damn it. Okay, that's out.
Don't do it again.
I'm not sure if it's really magnetic. No. Oh yeah, there's this thing as well. I'm not sure what's it called, but you can. Oh wow, there's even felt underneath.
That one, yeah.
You can use it to tighten nuts on pots. And
also to remove
the plastic knobs on Fender guitar, for example. Yeah, you can use it as a lever.
I wouldn't use it as a lever because
me neither. I usually use a cloth or a shoelace to lift it out.
To pull it up straight.
Yeah.
There are clamps for that one as well to remove the knobs. But I didn't feel the need for those yet, to be honest. I always used shoelaces and
shoelaces work great.
Place them on both sides, put them together, and pull them up straight.
This is not really. This is for acoustics. It's also pretty handy to remove the bridge pins.
Yeah,
but you have it included in
this
thing.
Bridge pin puller.
What I still have is a lot of cleaning stuff, polishing and fretboard conditioner, stuff like that. But that's a different topic. That's guitar maintenance.
Yeah,
it's not really a skill set. Well, you should know what to use for guitars, but I think you're safe if you buy stuff from the Dario, from Music Nomad, from
the
Lizard Spit, just the big brands, and not. It's always the myth about lemon oil being made from actual lemons and damaging the wood, but it's crap. It's just lemon scent. It's just it smells like lemon. There's no lemon.
But also there is a difference when you're using lemon oil that's meant for instruments, and there's also the lemon oil that's intended for
cleaning,
furniture.
For furniture. But you shouldn't use that one.
No, you shouldn't use that one.
But if it's made from a reputable brand made for instruments, no harm, usually. Well, just looking around. No, I think tool-wise, well, you brought brought a bunch.
Yeah.
There's nothing hidden underneath here as well. Just a set of pliers.
Yep.
Well, that's basic. You should always have for
Yep.
holding and for pulling out something that's stuck. Yeah. We're getting no more recommendations from the chat, so I guess our list was not too bad. And Rodi liked it. Thanks a lot for that. Well, should we?
Yeah, let's wrap
On
it
that
up.
note, wrap it up. And guys, next Thursday we will have another video. Just a little heads up. We will talk about, you talked about it, you touched upon it before, the 1K rig, where we build ourselves a rig that's with a budget of €1,000
of stuff that we already own.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't go to a shop and buy the stuff. We talked mostly about gear we have. It was some smaller things we
the
don't
rule
have.
was it's not everything that we actually need to have. We need to have all the pedals as the things that we need to have. The amps are only ones that either one of us is owning, and the guitar.
Yeah, most important things we have in the room and we demonstrate. So that's the idea, just to build a rig for a certain price point. And there will be another video about that as well, but probably in 2023. And the next live stream will be, we need to write Andrew about that, will be one day before Christmas, our time. So on Friday the 23rd.
Yeah, Friday the 23rd, because you guys need to know, in Austria, the big day is Christmas Eve is 24th.
Yeah, for us, there's the big festivities in the evening where you get all the presents, or the kids especially get all the presents. And on the 25th and on the 26th, you meet family.
Yeah.
And you eat a lot and have a good time. So we will do our live stream, because I have so much work stuff, Christmas parties and stuff from work. We finally managed to agree on the 23rd. We will upload the link, probably 2 or 3 days in advance as usual. So
yeah, and if you haven't already, please also check out our friends we have linked on our channel page.
Absolutely. We have them all on our channel site. Yeah, right. And maybe Andrew will join us. For him, it will be already Christmas Eve, or the day of Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can make it. Would be awesome to have him. Yeah, with that, I think we're done.
Yeah. Thanks, Krena.
Have a good one as well, Krena. Everyone in the chat, thanks a lot for staying with us, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Let's see.
And broadcast.